The story begins with a devastating loss. $200,000 worth of premium wheat on 40 acres, just 3 days from harvest, reduced to black ash drifting in the wind. I stood there, watching smoke rise from what should have been my retirement fund, the field looking like a war zone. The smell was unforgettable, sweet grain mixed with diesel fuel and pure malice. 50 feet away, Delilah Prescott stood with a garden hose, calmly watering her prize roses while firefighters battled the blaze. Not a single drop went toward the flames devouring my future. She even waved, smiled, and called out, "Sorry about your little crop problem." What she didn't know was that I am Judge Ezra Blackwood, and come Monday morning, this arsonist would face me across a courtroom. My life has always had two sides. Weekdays, I'm on the bench in downtown Millfield, Kansas, handling agricultural disputes and property cases. Weekends and evenings, I'm knee-deep in wheat dirt, continuing the farm my grandfather started in 1952. The 200 acres of prime Kansas land came to me after my wife, Sarah, passed from cancer 2 years ago. She always called the farm my therapy, and she was right. After long days listening to legal problems, walking through waist-high wheat in the evening breeze, fresh-turned earth, diesel from the tractor, gravel crunching under boots, kept me sane during her illness. Then the developers arrived. Prairie Estates sprouted 47 identical houses with identical lawns and endless complaints about rural life. Most newcomers were decent, seeking space and quiet. But every subdivision has one person who moves to the country only to recreate the HOA world they left behind. That was Delilah Prescott. She arrived from Orange County in a white BMW that had never seen mud. 52, blonde in that expensive way, full of opinions and the money to enforce them. Within 6 months, she became HOA president, promising to elevate property values through proper standards. That meant making my farm disappear. The harassment began immediately. Complaints about my rooster, the combine's dust, irrigation sprinklers breeding mosquitoes. Her kids lived in Denver, but facts never stopped her. I tried being neighborly, brought fresh corn, explained farming, offered a scheduled harvest around her parties. She took the corn with a frozen smile and filed 3 more complaints that week. It escalated methodically. Petitions for 12-foot agricultural screens, noise ordinances targeting pre-dawn equipment, demands for environmental studies on fertilizer. Lawyers hired with HOA funds sent certified letters insisting I cease operations that predated her birth. Her biggest discovery was the easement. My grandfather had negotiated permanent agricultural access through what became Prairie Estates when he sold land for a 1974 road expansion. It couldn't be revoked. When her lawyer failed to break in court, she went rogue. One morning, I found my access route blocked by huge decorative boulders matching her landscaping, installed overnight with cash-paid crew. The sheriff saw through her forged work order claiming traffic safety improvements, but without proof, his hands were tied. 2 months before harvest, a 3-acre strip along the property line turned brown overnight from herbicide drift. The acrid smell lingered. My insurance adjuster confirmed textbook drift on a windy day. No licensed applicator would spray then unless intending damage. I installed military-grade trail cameras. The footage was damning. Delilah directing the contractor to spray right up to the fence, dismissing wind concerns. I copied it, locked it away, and waited. Other residents shared their stories. Fines for trampolines, vegetable gardens, even American flags. I realized this wasn't just about my farm. It was resistance against a petty tyrant. Delilah escalated further. Bogus environmental lawsuits demanding I cease farming for 6 months through harvest, costing $40,000. That crossed into agricultural terrorism under Kansas law. She then passed an HOA equipment curfew. No machinery before 9 a.m. or after 5 p.m., $500 daily fines. Harvest doesn't follow banker's hours. I attended the emergency meeting still in my judicial robes. Her expert, her brother-in-law, a timeshare salesman, stumbled through nonsense. I quoted the Kansas Right to Farm Act. Operations ongoing since 1952 couldn't be deemed a nuisance. The room turned. Her coalition crumbled. But she didn't stop. False emergency calls wasted resources. Hazmat for chemical odors. Health inspections for contamination. All bogus. All from her number. Then the final escalation. Gasoline-soaked hay bales placed in my dry weed at night. Caught on camera. Federal charges loomed. Research revealed her pattern. Similar destruction in California. Bankrupting farms for cheap land flips. Collecting consulting fees. This was her business. Community rallied. Farmers, veterans, officials. We prepared harvest in 2 days with volunteer crews, extra security. Delilah tried one last arson on my storage shed. Professional accelerants, timers. Firefighters saved most, but $50,000 burned. She filed insurance claims 2 hours before the fire started. Mail fraud. Monday morning, she entered my courtroom for a routine fence dispute, confident. I disclosed the conflict. Her lawyer waived objection. Under oath, she ranted about protecting families from agricultural terrorists. Federal agents waited with warrants. Agricultural terrorism, arson, conspiracy, fraud. Handcuffs clicked as she screamed about conspiracies. 6 months later, she received 18 months federal prison. Her ex-husband cooperated, exposing schemes across 7 states. With the civil judgment, I founded the Sarah Blackwood Agricultural Heritage Foundation, providing free legal help to farmers facing HOA harassment. Prairie Estates dissolved its HOA. Property values rose. Neighbors planted gardens, parked trucks freely. 2 years later, I married Rebecca Martinez, the extension agent who helped during the ordeal in that same wheat field, now thriving. Destruction sometimes clears space for better growth. Delilah's War united U.S., showing respect between agriculture and suburbia is possible. Justice isn't always fast, but it's worth the wait. Now I walk through golden wheat under the Kansas sun, breathing air that smells of growth instead of threats, knowing some fights protect more than just one farm.